and welcome back to my channel. I am the Art Whisperer, and on this channel I like to discuss art interpretation with current day life. I do hold a BA in art history, super exciting, I know, but this is for entertainment purposes only, so let's just have some fun. Today's piece, one of my favorite, is The Garden of Earthly Delights by Hieronymus Bosch, done between 1490 and 1510. Now, it is a wild piece. I mean, full-on cray-cray. And that's pretty much what a lot of people feel like they're seeing today. I mean, you got a lot of protests, and you have politics, and morons. I mean, you have smart individuals that do dumb things like the Skull Breaker Challenge. It almost seems like we're going to hell in a handbasket. Why a handbasket? Kind of makes it sound like a picnic, but without like juice boxes or anything. I feel like a bystander. I'm in the middle of this chaos, and I don't know how to interpret it. And that's why I think of this triptych. And this triptych, done by Hieronymus Bosch, is in 3 panels, as the word implies. Triptych, 1, 2, 3. Now when you close it, there's actually more imagery on the outer panels, which would make it 2 panels. I mean, you know, duh. 1, 2. Then that part is done in the grisaille style, or a grayscale, basically, super boring. Now Hieronymus Bosch was actually not his real name. It was more like a professional name, a stage name, like Lady Gaga. Poker face. His real name was Hieronymus von Eycken. Yeah, an everyday common name. Totally not bougie enough, so he went with Bosch. Now, we're going with the 3 basic theories. The first theory is not my favorite. Can't really go into too much detail here on YouTube, but the theory is that this entire piece is about adult content, you know. A lot of innuendos in this with you've got the pearls and the clams, the strawberries, I mean, just a lot of things happening that reference the no-no zones. Basically one mass party with a lot of white people attending. There are a few black people, but they are mostly referred to as the noble savage. So this orgy-like fest is kind of a racist one too. The best way to describe it is by quoting a wise man. Human sacrifice. Dogs and cats living together. Mass hysteria. And that wise man was Dr. Peter Venkman. The second theory is based solely religion. So on the outer panels, you know, 1, 2, if one is closed, you're going to see this very boring black and white, divisive, stringent world. I like that word, stringent. Say it fast 3 times. Stringent, stringent, stringent. And just like the grisaille style, it's very basic. And I like that. It's comforting. We're all the same. It's an even playing field. No one is better than anyone else. No one is worse than anyone else. Except for those weird freaky psychos that like crunchy peanut butter, I mean. And back to the triptych. You have those 3 phases, remember. And it's read from left to right. Left, middle, right. Past, present, future. We'll start with the left, the past. You have the Garden of Eden. Such fond, fuzzy white guy memories. Now, the Garden of Eden was paradise. Adam and Eve were the perfect couple, and they were what anyone would have dreamed to be like and to look like. I mean, they were made in God's image. I mean, take a look at how handsome his son is. Now, amongst all of this lies innocence and defiance. The defiance, as you know, is the original sin. And that is what leads to the middle, to the circus. Like a Ringling Brothers circus, but without the elephants or even the clowns or the acrobats. It's just upsetting and no fun. Not even with cotton candy. See, the sin happened, now we look at the middle panel. Everything that's going wrong is because of that left panel, because of the past. It is because Adam and Eve chose to sin. And because of that blame game we're having, this is what's happening. This world that we are now seeing, this very good versus bad, black and white, the devotion and the blasphemy. Everything that is happening is because Adam and Eve, they thought for themselves, good or bad. That's what happened. And now we are looking into this middle panel and this mess. Now, personally, I look at this a little differently, a little deeper. Now, take a good look with me and tell me, can you see perhaps amongst all this crazy partying, just sheer love? I notice how there's peace and love all around. I mean, you've got blacks and whites with a few Puerto Ricans thrown in the background, just getting along. Kind of seems kind of fun, I mean, don't you think? I mean, look at this person that has like a really pretty pearly hemorrhoid. What doesn't look fun is the right panel. And that panel is pure hell. I'm talking evil Helga's House of Pain. I feel like it represents my, maybe yours too, but my views, my pessimism, my fear that the world is only going to get worse. A lot of people think that things are just going to hell in a handbasket. That handbasket again kind of makes me hungry. But we're looking at doomsday here. We've got so many doomsday preppers in the world. And let me tell you, those are the kind of people that you need to be BFFs with, okay? Because when everything else fails, world is going to hell, you need to call up one of those people and be like, hey boo, remember me? Can I come over? I like to view the entire thing in a collective manner, the playing field. The playing field where us humans lie within. And what we choose to do, whether it's the good, the bad, the fugly, it's on us. We are using that. And with all the chaos that's happening, it is very simple. We're doing it because it's our choice. We can choose to be like the left panel, an Eden, one of peace and love. Or we can choose to keep living our lives like we're heading towards the right panel. Just hell. And I'm talking like devil ruling kind of hell. But in either case, it's our choice. And all of that crap that is happening, just like on these three inner panels, when it's opened up, it gives color. It gives color to that grisaille style on the outside, that gray scale. And that is important because color is life. Without it, we wouldn't be living. And the future, whether right or wrong, it's still life. I think we're here to have our choice as to how we want things to go. And all I could say is let's just hope we're choosing the right way. Is that what Hieronymus Bosch was conveying? Possibly. I like to think so. However of a good story this might be, you have to remember every good juicy tale has a twist. And this triptych has a doozy. Now, just go with me. Just hear me out on this one. What if I told you none of this was real? There is a couple of things that kind of shed light on this last theory. One is that he had suffered from food poisoning. And two, he had suffered from food poisoning. Ergot is when you have rye, you have a fungus that grows. And then you take the rye, it's baked in whatever, say bread, whatever. And that is what gives the food poisoning. But the main symptom is going to be something a little different. It's hallucinations. They think that it is ergot poisoning that actually brought out the Salem witchcraft trials. You know, the one with innocent witches? What if this was really painted because he was on one big, massive psychedelic trip? Then I wonder what his subconscious was telling him while he was just having a trip of a lifetime. But in either case, I'm left hopeful that we can choose the right way, choose the right path. What do you think? Do you have hope? Can you relate this to your current day life the way Bosch did to his? Do you even know who Dr. Venkman is? Because if you don't, then you should be totally ashamed of yourself. But in the meantime, put your comments down below. Smash that like button. Next week's video is going to be a little different. It involves celebrity kind of feuds, and it's going to be fun. Until then, check out my old video, subscribe, and join me for the next time here on The Art Whisperer.